Hey YouTube, Halo Guy here. With the news that Forging Theatre would be getting delayed on the PC version of MCC, I thought it'd be a good idea to go over a bunch of features that I'd like to see implemented into the older versions of the mode in Halo 3, Halo 4 and Halo Reach. These changes would not only be used to update the PC version, but also the Xbox One version. So, let's jump into the first point, higher budgets. With Halo 3, 4 and Reach's Forge modes being created to work with the now very outdated Xbox 360 hardware, the maps weren't able to have extremely high object counts that we now see with Halo 2 Anniversary and Halo 5's Forge. So it only makes sense that we see the previous generations of Forge get a similar object count to match with the two Forge modes that have been released on the Xbox One. And on top of that, can we please get rid of the dollar system? I think I speak for a majority of people when I say that a simple object counter would be a much better system, as well as maybe implementing Halo 2 Anniversary's performance meter to let forgers know if there's going to be frame drops when looking at certain parts of the map. Obviously, it would be in everyone's best interest to base the object count and the performance meter around the base Xbox One model of the game and what that can handle, and not a PC with say a RTX 2080 Ti with a i9 processor with 32GB of RAM. That just wouldn't be practical, and the maps would fail to work for 99% of the Halo community if they were based on those kind of specs, which would be a disaster. Next up, keyboard and mouse support for the Xbox One version. That's right, you heard correct. I think it would be awesome if Xbox forgers were able to plug in USB powered keyboards and mice to forge their maps. There are very few games now on the Xbox that have this support, games like Minecraft, Fortnite and Warframe, just to name a few. If 343 are using the resources to perfect the controls for keyboard and mouse for the PC platform, I don't think, and that's a big think because I'm not a game dev, so I don't know how different the coding looks for the Xbox and PC versions of the game, but I don't think that it would be too difficult to give the Xbox users that input option, as no one can deny that forging with a mouse is a lot more accurate than forging with the thumbsticks, and that's just the reality of the situation. It's why a lot of forgers for Halo 5 prefer to do so on the PC version of the game, as they get that extra control over their map creation. Now obviously it goes without saying that the input option should probably be locked behind the Forge mode, and possibly the custom games and campaign. But to avoid any sort of controversy and arguments, it's probably best to leave the Xbox matchmaking keyboard and mouse free for just now, and leave it as just controllers. What's the third feature I'd like to see? Custom texturing for blocks. If forgers are able to create or download their own textures for different blocks and apply them to the blocks while they're forging, that would alleviate the big problem that we have with the old Forge, where all of the blocks have the same bland sort of look. In Halo 3 it was the browny gold stone, in Reach it was the grey Forerunner texture, and 4 was the silvery white, just bland blocks. Basically, the blocks all look the same in their current form, and it takes away the map's individuality. But if we are able to download textures for blocks that people have made and apply them during creation, similarly to Halo 5's textures, except that we can have the textures be whatever we want them to be, and not pre-made by 343 Industries, I think that would be a huge plus for the mode. And when someone downloads your map and they try and start the game without the custom textures, the game can tell them that they need to download the required textures to get the full experience of the map, and that they can now choose to download them or just leave it and play with the default textures that the game launches with. Up next is Prefabs, just a straight copy from Halo 5's Prefab system and everything it brings with it. Forgers should be able to select a bunch of blocks and essentially glue them together so that they can act as one entity and move them around as such, and then have the option to save the prefab to be used on another map or even the same map. Say someone creates a really cool base or structure, but the rest of the map just didn't really turn out as they planned, and they're just going to scrap it. They may want that exact structure but on a different map that they are making. And instead of trying to copy it block for block, it would be a whole lot easier just to select all of the blocks, group them together, save the prefab, import it into that new map that they are wanting to build. It would cut down a lot of time if you're constantly wanting to use the same sort of structure. Now, time for a speed round. These features don't require as much explanation or description due to them being pretty self-explanatory, but they are important features nevertheless, so I'm going to include them in this video. And they are magnets, phaseable blocks in Halo 3, copy, paste, undo and redo functions, Halo 5's block movement and rotation options, including the Z fighter, and finally, some form of object scripting. It doesn't have to be as advanced as Halo 5 scripting. In fact, I don't even think they would be able to do that without completely overhauling the whole game, but some level would be pretty awesome. Maybe something similar to what we saw in Halo 2 Anniversary's Forge, where you can forge a door to open when a button is pressed, or when a player walks into a certain area. I don't know, just a suggestion. I don't expect all of these features to make it into the different forges within MCC due to the technical side of things. We wouldn't want to break the already very fragile and delicate game, but if 343 are able to implement some of the easier stuff like the higher object count, custom texturing and keyboard and mouse support for the console version, then I'd be happy. And at the same time, if they don't manage any of this, I won't hold a grudge or anything, as long as Halo Infinite's Forge is outstanding with forgeable AI and cool stuff along those lines. And I'm pretty sure we could count on the community to bring these features in themselves if 343 aren't able to do it. And that is the joys of the PC community. But that's all the features I personally would like to see with the old Forges. What about you guys? Sound off in the comments down below what forging features and options you would like to see implemented into the old Forge mode within MCC when they come to PC. But other than that guys, like the video if you enjoyed, it helps the channel out a ton. Subscribe with notifications if you haven't already to stay up to date with all my latest videos as soon as they go live. I'll be covering all Halo news in the future, big or small, so you want to keep up with the channel. I'd like to thank you all for watching till the end, I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time, and have a good one.